Hello guys and welcome to my review of Bioshock. This game was, as I said, developed by 2K Games in 2007. It even says on the box art 10 out of 10 game. But is this truly a 10 out of 10 game, and how hard is it to complete? Let's find out. The story begins in 1960. The player is introduced to Jack, who is the main protagonist of the game. Jack becomes a victim of a plane crash. Being the only survivor, he discovers a lighthouse nearby. Inside the lighthouse, Jack finds a sub which takes him down to Rapture, an underwater city made by Andrew Alexander Ryan. Now this is a very good introduction, but I do wish that the developers spend a little more time on the background when you first get to see Rapture, because it doesn't seem like there's a lot of buildings, which makes the place seem very small, but this is all just a minor nitpick. When you're inside Rapture, you get treated to this wonderful cutscene.
No trespass. Just don't hurt me. Just let me go. You keep my gun.
This was a Splicer, which is the main enemy you're gonna deal with in the Bioshock game. They were normal citizens of Rapture, but they become addicted to Adam, which I'll talk about later. Still inside the sub, you'll find a radio, and from there you get contacted by Atlas. Atlas explains how terrible of a place Rapture have become after the big war between Andrew Ryan and Frank Fontaine. And that's the start of the adventure through Rapture. Now, this game have a lot of mechanics and a lot of ways you can kill enemies, so I go through some of them. From the start, you only get a wrench for self-defense, but as you progress further in the game, you get a whole lot of different weapons. For example, a Tommy gun, a crossbow, and my personal favorite, a flamethrower. To even further expand on the combat system, you have the ability to hack cameras, turrets, and security bots to work on your side. I don't really like how hacking works in this game. You are forced to do something that you would never ever do in a FPS. You're supposed to do a pipe puzzle. The pipe puzzle works like this. You have to rearrange all of the tiles so you can get the water flow to the exit. But it isn't really necessary, since you can complete a hack very easily just by using an automatic hack tool or using money you've collected. And to expand the combat system even further is by the use of plasmids. Scientists of Rapture discovered a sea slug which creates some kind of substance that has the ability to rewrite your genetic code. This substance is being used to create plasmids. This makes you some kind of mutant, being able to shoot electricity and fire out of your hands, summoning a big swarm of insects, and there's a lot of different plasmids. My favorite one has to be the telekinesis plasmid. It's allowing you to pick up objects and just throw them. It seems kind of simple, but it is really cool because you pick them up with your thoughts. So it can be a corpse on the other side of the room. You can just pick it up and throw them at another opponent nearby. This adds a lot of variety and freedom to the combat system. You can go for a stealth approach with a target dummy plasmid. Like, you can do so much with these plasmids. It gives you a lot of freedom, which is a very good thing. You can customize yourself even further with the use of tonics. They are not real plasmids, but it does affect your body. For example, the tonic Electric Flesh allows you to do more damage with electrical attacks, and you take less damage from electrical attacks. How you get tonics and plasmids in the first place is by purchasing them for Adam. Like, Adam is kind of a currency to buy these things at a certain shop that's called Gather's Garden. You see, there are small girls around the age of 5 or 6 who's running around Rapture collecting Adam from corpses all around. To get the Adam from these girls, you have two decisions. You could either harvest the little girl, getting all the possible Adam from their bodies, in result killing the girl, or you can rescue them, giving you only half of the Adam that you will normally have, in result making you less powerful. These have an effect on the ending, so choose wisely. Since the little sisters are so valuable for everyone in Rapture, they have a bodyguard, a protector, which are the mascot of Bioshock, the Big Daddies. So the Big Daddies are very powerful and takes a lot of hits to take down. In result, if you take it down, you can get to the little sister and do what you want with her. But, as I said, they're very powerful. In the first Bioshock game, there are two types. The Rosie and the Bouncer. The Bouncer being basically the face of Bioshock. I mean, seriously, he's at the box art. Overall, this game's presentation is very good. The models look really good, the sound is amazing, and the soundtrack also really fits. When the developers was designing the splicers, it was a really good choice to take inspiration from burn victims from the Second World War. Bioshock is supposed to be a horror game, but for a horror game it isn't really that scary. But these splicer designs, it is a step in the right direction. I guess you could say that the developers was going for a more disturbance kind of horror game, and when I think about it like that, it actually really works. With the soundtrack and just the whole vibe to the game, it really is a more disturbing game than a really scary one. Just check out this little clip right here.
If I didn't care more than words can say.
I really like how the story is being told through audio diaries. I haven't touched this really, but throughout the Rapture you can find audio diaries. You put those in your radio and then you can hear audio diaries of how it was before Rapture became the hellhole that it really is. Having the world being told through audio diaries, it's actually really fitting due to the time period. Just this game in general, it just fits the 1960s so well. Now all of the big goals in the game are presented very well through character dialogue and just speaking to Jack the player. Just check out the first goal you're being presented to.
Listen, I've got a family. I need to get them out of here. But the splicers have cut me off from them. If you can reach them in Neptune's bounty, then maybe, just maybe. I know you must feel like the unluckiest man in the world right now. But you're the only hope I'll ever see my wife and child again. Go to Neptune's bounty. Find my family, please.
Once you get through Neptune's bounty, you discover a small little hideout where Atlas and his family is. His family is already inside the sub you're supposed to use to get to the surface. But there's been a bunch of splicers there, so Atlas had to take refuge, so it's up to you to save the day. And when you get there, this happens.
You ooze in like an assassin, and then you try to sneak out like a thief. You're no CIA spook. Who are you? Why have you come here? There's two ways to deal with a mystery. Uncover it, or eliminate it.
So from here, it gets quite obvious what the next goal of the game is.
Moira. Patrick. Ain't that just like Ryan? Waits until we're almost out and then he pulls the string. We'll find the bastard. We'll find him and we'll tear his heart out.
Ryan's office is in the Rapture Central Control area, and there is specifically one audio diary I find very disturbing in this area. Check it out.
Is your daddy a puppy? She's very pretty.
Thank you, Papa Sushon.
Break her neck for me. What? Break that sweet puppy's neck. No, please. Break that puppy's neck. Would you kindly? No! No! Very good.
But when you reach Ryan's office, you find out that he's your father. To be honest, this is one of the laziest plot twists I have ever heard about in a video game. It's so cliche and you've never heard about that before, but I just overlook it. Just ignore that fact when you play the game. It feels a lot better. In the conversation with Andrew Ryan, you find out that Atlas has been twisting your mind with the phrase, "Would you kindly?" that made you obey his every command. After using Ryan's head as a golf ball, you find out that Atlas is actually Frank Fontaine himself. Now this is also a very cliche plot twist, but it's a little bit better than "I'm your father." Now that Andrew Ryan is dead, that means that Frank Fontaine has taken over Rapture, and it's your job to save the day. Shortly after Fontaine's taken over, some little girls guide you to a safe house in Olympus Heights. This is where you'll meet Tannenbaum, personally my favorite character in the game. She has been rescuing little sisters all over Rapture. From now on, she is the one who's helping you taking down Frank Fontaine. For me personally, one of the most touching moments in the game is when you get to see Tannenbaum's old apartment.
Look at my home, torn apart by Fontaine and his pigs. No doubt he had the samples of Lot 192 taken to his penthouse. Entrance is in lobby, but the damn thing is always locked. You will not believe me, but there was a time when this place was also beautiful.
In the final area of the game, you have to become a Big Daddy, because you need a little sister to guide you all the way to Frank Fontaine himself. And this is where the gameplay changes to an escort mission. I really don't like this part of the game. You know, she is a little sister, you know? So every time you stumble upon a corpse, she just have to drain the atom and you have to stand around and just wait for her to finish. And to make matters worse, there are a lot of splicers that is after to kill her, so you'll have to protect her all the way through. But it's not really necessary to protect her, because even though she dies, you can just get a new one right away from a nearby vent. This is not very good game design in my opinion, but to be honest, I don't know how they could have done it in another way. But after that, it's time to prepare for the final boss of the game, Frank Fontaine. Now this boss fight is way too easy. I mean, you just go up to him, drain the atom from his body, do enough damage on him, and then just drain more atom from his body. Do this a couple more times, and you're done. Right after that, he begins teasing you, bullying you, calling you a complete asshole, but while he is distracted, a bunch of small girls jump on him with his needles and killing him. And that's the end of the game. So how do you 100% complete this game? Well, we are talking about 3 separate playthroughs of this game. And I'll tell you what to do in each of those playthroughs. Stay tuned. In the first playthrough, you can play on any difficulty. You are going to save every little sister, and you're gonna prioritize the atom to the tonics. You're going to get every tonic in the game, and you're also going to fully research everything in the game. Every Big Daddy type, little sister, camera, turret, security bot, and all of the splicers. You'll also have to fully upgrade every weapon in the game. By that being said, you can't kill Sander Cohen in Fort Frolic. You're gonna have to do that in Olympus Heights. And that's what you're gonna do for the first playthrough. In the second playthrough, you are going to be playing on hard mode. If you aren't ready for hard mode yet, you can wait and do the third one before that. But on hard mode, you are going to prioritize the atom to the tonic slots. You're going to open every tonic slot and plasmid slot in the game. And also, this time around, you are going to kill Sander Cohen in Fort Frolic. And also, remember to take a picture of his dead body. That's what you're going to do in the second playthrough. The final playthrough, you are going to be finding every audio diary in the game. There's a total of 122 in the game, so have fun with that. It's not fun, I can tell you that much. And also, you'll have to invent 100 items, which can take a very long time. I haven't really talked about this, but it is a really minor thing to do. And at last, you are going to hit the jackpot at the slot machine in Fort Frolic. What you do is you get $500, which is the maximum you can hold, and then you save right before a slot machine, and whenever you get bankrupt, you just load up your game and just keep trying. I was real lucky and got it to my first shot, so I was happy with that. And that's basically how you 100% complete Bioshock. Bioshock truly is a masterpiece in gaming. The whole setting and the theme of the game is very good, the presentation is good, the story is lackluster and the endgame isn't really fun at all, but it's still a really good game here. The combat system is very complex, but it has a great learning curve. You're very free to do whatever you want in a combat situation. You can be stealth, you can just be straight up combat, or you can go a more defending route. You just have so much freedom in this game, which is a very good thing. All in all, we have a great game here, but it's not perfect, looking at the lackluster story again. So all in all, I will give this game a 9 out of 10 rating. So one thing I haven't really talked about is the different endings. I don't have footage for the bad ending, but I do have footage for the good ending, and also that is how I'm going to end this review. I'm going to show you the good ending, and then I'm going to end the review right there. So thanks for watching, subscribe if you're new, smash that like button if you did, leave a comment if you hate me by now or actually agree, and I'll see you next time.
They offered you this city. And you refused it. And what did you do instead? What I've come to expect of you. You saved them. You gave them the one thing that was stolen from them. A chance. A chance to learn. To find love. To live. And in the end, what was your reward? You never said. But I think I know. A family.